Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Uncharted 2 Remastered brutal difficulty walkthrough. This is the 20th level. It is called Cat and Mouse, and it is pretty crazy. There's going to be a lot of rushing, a lot of running between cover, a lot of moments where you think you're going to die and you don't, a lot of moments where you think you're safe and you're going to die. But the thing to bear in mind is the tank will not kill you in 2 bullets. There is nothing he can do that will kill you in 2 bullets. So you are at your most safe when he is shooting at you. Everybody else is going to shit on you very quickly. So prioritize them over the tank, but always be aware that the tank is not going to help. He's always going to hinder. And take your time, know your spawns, and this is not a bad level at all, but figuring out the good path through it took me a couple of tries, and hopefully I can mitigate that struggle for you, and you can follow this video and have maximum success. If you hear any strange buzzing in the background, I'm just going to have to apologise. Our fire alarm has spontaneously just got Tourette's, and it's singing like a fucking canary all the time. It's very frustrating. It's one of those you can't tamper with as well, which makes no sense at all. What's going to happen? The fire brigade come, there's no fire, and they tell us off? Like, why can't we fucking do whatever it needs us to do? For all we know, it could be Jesus, and he's telling us, help me. And we didn't help Jesus, and thus that's why we're not all saved. But just keep pushing forward, and there's going to be a transition just there as we push to this section, because I got killed by the people, as I always do. The tank is going to be pushing up to our left, making progress, and we're going to be trying to move to our right and get up those stairs. The place where we are right now is safe. You see the tank? Dude couldn't hurt you if you gave him a bloody opportunity. He's absolutely worthless. I love him. I never thought I would like the tank, because he's always the nuisance on this level. No longer. After you've got used to dying so fast, the tank is literally your best friend. I love him. But the problem here, if he puts a shot on you and one of the soldiers shoot you, it's a double tap. You will die. That is the biggest threat of the tank. Everything else, pretty nominal. Additionally, if you sit behind those wooden cover places, they do not last long and you're gonna die. So never trust them and just be careful. You can run up to the tank and get yourself into a position where the turret that's shooting can't hit you. But you know what's weird about this turret? Nobody's manning it, it's manning itself. It is a mounted M60 variant that would normally be helmed by a human. Then it's just killing you because it's one of those action movie Michael Bay tanks that, is a constant threat shooting all the time and doesn't need any kind of logic to dictate how it moves. But once you come here, it's going to blow up the bridge, and then there's going to be one of these forced running sequences. On this point forward, there's going to be a few really close calls with dudes really close, and I'm going to Stallone one of them. I laughed so hard at what I'm about to do to one of these dudes, I wanted to upload it as a separate video and put that fantastic picture of Stallone where it says Stalloned and he's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt with his long hair, because I think it's the most funny picture on the internet. But I didn't. I held back, even though I know it would be completely fabulous. But watch this. This guy gets absolutely Stalloned. And I nearly die as it begins. I take a massive hit, and I'm like, and then a punch! I just... wall-hopping Superman punch. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but I'm so glad it happened. And he could have killed me then. I could have so easily died, but I somehow didn't. And you saw me panic. Like, that moment where you realise, I'm gonna die. Fuck it. And it really worked out, so... wonderful piece of gameplay, perhaps my favourite moment in this walkthrough so far. And then the tank is going to test our ability to climb. But he knocks you over, and you're going to rush down here. There's going to be 2 guys that spawn just here, so clean them up quickly. You have no real cover here unless you can really rush down there, but I think that the tripwire that spawns them is not lenient enough to give you enough time, so just preempt them and kill them. And then do that to him, because I hear he's a racist, and then push forward. And of course the tank's there. Like, what tank? You couldn't kill me if you tried, you bitch. And these people will, so be very scared of these. And just blind fire. Look at the blind fire, it's so good. You play Uncharted 3, it doesn't work like that at all. It's almost, I dare say, kind of realistic. In the worst possible way. And I'm kind of scared that I'm not going to be able to do the strategies that this game has been teaching me on that game. And I was thinking to myself, like, when I did Uncharted 3 Crushing all those years ago, and it was a really successful guide, I didn't really know how to play Uncharted. I was just, playing a third-person shooter and persevering, and I found some really cool strategies, and I got people through it, and everyone said it was, it was helpful. But I felt now like that, because I'd gone through this one, I'd done 2 of them now on a tougher difficulty, and I'd learnt new strategies, so I was more of an Uncharted player. And I was going to go into 3 and have all these new techniques, and then when I played it the other day, I was like, this shit's just not working. There's no wonder I didn't directly translate when I started doing 2, but yeah, I'm still excited. And somebody's been telling me that Bluepoint went in and completely revamped the aiming style on Uncharted 1, and if the shooting feels like Uncharted 2 in that game, I might cover it. The problem is, we're on the verge of there's a game that's going to be released in like 3 days that I'm hopefully going to get tomorrow. There's a Halo 5 that's coming on Friday, which is a few days after that, so I'm going to be still deep in them. So I can't really justify starting these walkthroughs, even though they are more valuable to me than these new games, because these new games, I don't know if they're going to be hard. And they probably won't be, because no new games are. But these games on Brutal, regardless of if you agree with them, they are very hard. You know, sometimes cheesy hard, other times I'm gonna snap the developer's neck hard, and then other times it's just, you know, not too bad. But that new stuff, I have no guarantee it's even going to be remotely difficult and warrant a walkthrough, yet it's new and people love new things. By the way, this is a really good spot to shoot these guys because they're too dumb to start shooting back. I don't know why. It just works. Love it. Love everything about it. And the checkpoints here are not the kindest. This next room is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Because the tank's going to shoot at you as it moves up, but once it moves up enough, it stops shooting at you. The problem is, there are people in the house, and if they shoot at you with the tank, good night, you are dead. So this is the house where they are. I'm going to try and use the FAL to put some bullets down the range. Try and pepper some guys. But it gets to a point where you know people are in there, and they're just not going to come out. So that right there, by the way, rolling off ledges on this game and he grabs them almost all the time is really frustrating. On Uncharted 3, it works beautifully. It's one of the things they've definitely fixed, and I found that to be just really refreshing. So happy with that game. Cannot wait to start covering it. And that music, dude, the Uncharted music, it gets me so excited. It really does. It's, you know, I know I'm about to play an exciting, fun game, and I just made a walkthrough for Tony Hawk's 5, so I fucking need it. See that? I got hit by a tank shot. A tank round just hit me, and it didn't kill me. The tank, they took his balls and gave them to everybody else, and then that guy turned up and I shot him a few times, and he definitely drops a Desert Eagle, so we know we've got a nice deagle waiting for us. But I'm too busy in this moment in time, I'm full business, like, must get checkpoint, must get rocket launcher, must shoot at tank, must not die. Let's do this. And I do really like this sequence. As much as it'd be so cool if you could get rid of that tank on the train and then all this was the soldiers. That would literally be just beautiful. It's the same thing as killing the end before the boss fight. You know, I love that kind of game design. Like, can you imagine a game if you didn't know who the last boss was going to be until halfway through it, and you actually met him quite early on, and you could kill him? And if you did it, it changed the entire final half of the game? How crazy would that be? I bet it would be really hard to do, but that's the type of shit I would want to do. Because it's the ultimate, like, what is going on? Oh, so sweet. But right now, I'm picking up all the grenades and stuff because there's a wonky checkpoint up here, hence the awkward cut just then. And our friend up there is going to make this much more tricky than it needs to be. Wait for him to shoot and then move. The problem here is you want to... See that? You see what just happened? I had a second where I could aim, and then the aimer reset into bullshit land where I couldn't see. So I'm going to shoot this guy with the Desert Eagle, and the tank's going to have a go at me. But he's firing pellets. Pellets are dog food, and they barely hurt, so I can live with that. The rocket guy, not so much. But once again, this is like the perfect storm of bullshit right now. We're getting hit on both sides, and I don't have an opportunity to conquer. But there it was. And then the tank's like, please, I'm going to shoot you with my gun, but not do a very good job, because I'm just not difficult enough. Because that's how tanks sound. I don't even know, what was that voice? Where did it come from? But be very careful here, there is a bunch of dudes in that opposite house. I think I know what that voice came from. I was going to do the stereotypically gay voice, but now is it not stereotypically homophobic? And everybody's like, don't do that anymore, even though it used to be funny. We used to laugh. You remember, Conan? You used to laugh. What have I done? But once you pick up the launcher in this adjacent area that we're going to be going down the zip line towards, it's going to be the last interaction with the tank, which is pretty good because fuck the tank. And then that's going to be the end of the video, which is surprising. It came quite quick. And then the next one, if it's the one I think it is, and it is, I'm going to die so fast at the beginning that I can't even give you the title card for the chapter because it doesn't display it because I had to restart immediately having been insta-murdered. But there you go, guys. Cat and Mouse is done. The next level is really intimidating, but it's not that tough. Trust me, I've got a really good path for it. And then the level after that is going to be 60 minutes long, so get ready for that shitfest. Thank you for watching. You take care now.